Hey everybody, it's Joseph Shepard.
And Laganja, Estranja.
And welcome back to another episode of
Queening Out. I'm sorry we missed you guys last week.
I know, it was my fault. I'm sorry.
Oh, I wasn't even going to blame it on you.
Oh, well, it was me.
I was just going to say the episode was boring, so we decided to skip.
Well, it was boring. It was a combo.
It was such blue balls. Like, when it got to the ending, I was like, wait, that's it?
I was so mad.
It was like, what, right before the runway, right?
Yeah.
So we basically didn't get to really see anything.
No, and it was just like, let's just have an episode to have an episode.
Right.
Let's make over some of the crew, but only do 30
no,
minutes.
I liked that part. That was the mini challenge.
Yeah.
That was actually interesting. But the rest of the episode.
Asking questions. I was like, oh.
Oh, we had the Tic Tac lunch.
Was the Tic Tac lunch then? Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
I hate those.
Do you?
I do.
Why?
Because I just feel like everybody comes there and they sit down and then they think in their head, they're like, how can I tell my story in the saddest way possible?
Okay. Well, that's not their fault.
No.
That's producers.
But it might be like, it would be, I don't know. There's something I feel like can be more fun. Like,
sure.
I feel like this has been used so much, and during the first few seasons, it was cool to have a Tic Tac lunch. But now it's like,
we can't even say Tic Tac because we're so used to saying TikTok.
Yeah.
I'm dead. Well, I did think that RuPaul was really genuine this time around.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I mean, he straight up told certain girls he loved them. Mm-hmm. So I was like, well, I liked that aspect that I felt kind of removed a little bit of that third wall.
Yeah.
And, really connected with a lot of them, I felt.
Yeah.
People said this was RuPaul's favorite season. Did you ever hear that rumor?
No, I didn't.
That these were all his favorite contestants, and that's how this conglomeration was made.
I can see that, though.
I can, too.
Now
like
that
Georgia,
said,
Scott
yeah.
Mick. I'm like, okay. I didn't know Plastique was one of his favorites.
Yeah.
But
he just wants some good
who
looks.
knows? Just a rumor, allegedly.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that.
So how are you? I haven't seen you in 2 weeks. What's going on? What's the tea? How was DragCon? Oh.
I have many thoughts about DragCon.
Oh.
Before we get into it, I just want to say that we were gone last week. I was recording, I recorded 12 episodes of my new Exposed After Dark. Don't know how I did it.
I don't either.
My brother also came into town, and then we did DragCon, and then my best friend came into town. So literally it was just like
a family
2
affair.
full weeks of like not being able to breathe, but
okay.
We're back.
And we're breathing.
Yeah, DragCon was a choice.
Why do you say that?
My biggest issue was that in previous years, everybody's booths were open, meaning like you weren't technically curtained off fully.
Okay.
This year, there was probably 80% of people's booths were fully curtained off. So it was just all black curtain around. So you couldn't see what was in the booth. There was no distinction to be like, oh, that's blah, blah's booth or that's this booth.
Oh, really?
And because a lot of them had the curtains around there, it just made everything look dark.
Well, that's because everyone learned they need their own break room. That's really what it is.
I can see that.
So I don't blame the queens for that, but maybe, dress up the sides.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
Yeah, it was just kind of dark. I think that they are concentrating now too much on let's try to get as much content shot too. Let's do, Hey Queen was over in the left corner. Then you had Bring Back My Girls in the far right corner. And then you had the main stage in the middle. And previously they've done those in like the conference areas of the convention center.
Gotcha, yeah.
And so they just put it on the main floor. And I think that just took away from crowds. It took away from the enjoyment of everything. I don't know. It just felt a lot more dispersed this year. It felt like things were all over the place. There wasn't like a lot of places for food or drinks or anything like that. And it just seemed like it was kind of sloppily put together.
Well, I feel like for food and drinks, wasn't that always outside the
main it was
hall
always outside,
anyway?
but they did used to allow vendors to like rent booths and also do stuff as well. But I know that there was, the Willam controversy.
Which was what? She got escorted out?
Yeah.
But why?
So apparently, Willam did not buy a booth. Willam didn't buy a ticket. Willam was given Adore's guest pass.
Okay.
Willam used Adore's guest pass as her thing, whatever. So then it was the day of the lining up for the Queen's Walk. Willam signed in or whatever. They gave the sheet or whatever to whoever the announcer was, and then they went through all of that. And then all of a sudden, he said that he was surrounded by people. And
who was?
Willam was surrounded by like security guards and like police type people.
Before the walk ever happened.
Before the walk ever happened. And then I guess whoever the head of the con was basically was like, no, Willam, you're going to have to go. Like, we're going to we can't have you here. And he was like, well, why? And then I guess long story short, it's because he was talking about the lawsuit that's about to happen over this past season of All Stars 9.
I've heard the whispers.
So I guess since he had talked about it on the podcast on Race Chaser,
okay,
they felt since it's still an ongoing investigation or whatever, that him drawing attention to it made him a risk for.
But they had to know kicking her out was also equally going to draw attention.
And it's like, I understand that like DragCon or Drag Convention or RuPaul's Drag Race or World of Wonder can have issues with certain queens or who they want. But I also feel like if you're, for instance, Willam every single year is paid for a booth. Every single time he pays for the booth full money. He's not getting anything back. He goes into it, and I believe every single time his pictures are free. He doesn't charge you for merch or anything to like be able to get a picture. And so there's just parts of me that are like, I get it to some level, but also at the same time, it's kind of like, I can see both sides, you know?
Yeah, well, it does seem odd since she has been at the con all the other years. That's why I was kind of like, huh, what's going on here? And did she like do something controversial to get her kicked out or?
But also it's like, if the reason is that she was talking about a pending lawsuit, well,
I'm sure a lot of people
are. And like at the end of the day, it's like, well, it's a lawsuit and who was in the right and who was in the wrong. Like,
right. And now, so what is the lawsuit? It's the
apparently
kids suing the staff or the staff suing the kids or what is it? So
apparently there are members of World of Wonder who no longer are members of World of Wonder, who worked on All Stars 9. And I guess a majority of the girls were either inappropriate, rude, made sexual comments or sexual harassing type things, except for, from what I heard, Angeria, Chanel, and Nina. And so I guess the other 5 were kind of in a vein of, I don't know if they spoke their mind. This is what I took it as. This is after hearing. You know how... Allegedly. You know how last season there was the rumor, I mean, it was confirmed, but towards the end, like Heidi left, right? And then you had Candy Muse and Jimbo were going to be in the top 2. And then there was the potential of switching the final lip sync song to Milkshake by Khalees.
Right.
And Candy was like, no, you're not pulling that. I'm going to leave right now. You're going to call my mom, whatever. I will literally leave production. I believe that the girls have started to become so outspoken each season. And I could see like Candy or, Heidi or whatever talking to the other girls and being like, hey, like, back on your original seasons, you may not have been treated well, but speak up now. Because if you speak up, some things, could change and you don't get like run over. And so I could see that happening.
Right.
I could see the girls coming into All Stars 9 and they're like, well, I'm not going to take any shit because other girls have been able to do this and some things changed. So,
but how does that relate to sexual innuendos and things?
I don't know. I don't know if it was, them going off or if they're mad or if they're like, using words that they shouldn't, but that's the alleged.
So then the staff of World of Wonder is suing the girls?
They're suing Drag Race.
Now what?
They're suing like World of Wonder or Drag Race for...
Well, who is suing World of Wonder?
The staff.
Okay.
So the staff is basically like, you put us in a predicament that we should not have been in. We were...
Got you. You made us deal with these crazy queens.
Yes,
is basically what it is. Interesting. I'm actually shocked that it hasn't happened sooner.
I will agree with that.
No tea. But also, like, yeah, I would think the people that you would hire would be prepped to be working with eccentric, self-absorbed people such as myself, I mean, I don't think I'm a monster on set at all. But it's drag queens.
Yeah.
So we are known for, speaking our minds.
And it's not the first time any of them have been on the season. So they are not going to fall into the same tropes that they may have fallen into before, So,
interesting.
So that was the TT.
Well, I have to be honest. I missed being there. I did. There was a part of me that was a little feeling of the FOMO, but ultimately, after talking to a lot of the girls that went, I feel like I probably made the right choice in going and earning money. Because that's the other thing for me is I've never earned money at DragCon. I've always broken even, if that. Yeah. So, I had to be smart. I've got my surgery coming up. I have to save money. So, I hope next year is different and that I'll be able to go and do it. But ultimately, I think I made the right decision financially for myself. But I did miss seeing my sisters and seeing my buds and, getting to look at the cool vendors who have cool drag stuff. Yeah. Frisk Me Good was there, a person whose outfit I just wore recently on the cover of Guru's magazine, selling really cool stuff. And somebody tagged me in a post and was like, oh, Laganja, I had to buy one for you. And not literally for me, I wish. But yeah, so I missed that part of it.
Yeah, it wasn't my cup of tea this year.
Yeah.
I'll say that. But
okay. Do you think you'll return?
I don't know.
Okay.
I just feel bad for the people that went that never been before, because it has been great in the past. And then to be able to have this, it was like my brother came down from San Francisco and I was like, oh, I'm kind of sad that you saw this as opposed to 2 or 3 years ago, you know, like, so that was disappointing for me. But at the end of the day, I had great times with all the queens that I had on my Exposed After Dark.
Nice. When will those be coming out?
Those will be coming out the second week of August.
Oh, quick turnaround.
Yeah, quick turnaround.
Once a week or what?
Yeah, once a week. They're like 45-minute episodes. We spin the bottle to figure out what the segments are. So everything's up in the air. Nothing is.
I was like, not you kissing the queens.
Yeah, right. No. So everything is up in the air. You don't necessarily know what's going to happen. We talk about some stuff. I had Selena's titties on, and of course she talked about everything sexual in the world. So it's just like everything's just off limits. Doesn't matter. So I had.
Or nothing's off limits.
Nothing's off limits. Yeah. Yes. So I had Milk on.
Oh, cool.
I had Theresa May from UK. Yep. I had Selena's titties. I had Art Simone from Australia. I had Juicebox and Cynthia Kiss from Canada.
Love.
I had Near Enough from Canada. Hanaconda from Australia. Jan. I also had...
As in Jan Sport? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, love.
I had Petita from España. And then I had Girlfriend Experience from Canada, which is amazing. Fontana from Sweden, and then I had Aurora Matrix from Canada as well. So
nice, you got a little bit of everyone.
Yeah, a little bit of
that's
going across
cool.
everywhere. So very excited. So
yay,
we'll see what happens.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
What else is new with you? I feel like there's something else that I'm like missing out on.
What's new with me? Let's see. You know, I've been trying to be more of a human, which has been really nice. I got my house cleaned up. I got a new couch so that when I'm recovering, I'm able to move away from the bedroom into another area, because I'm assuming I will get bored being in one area. And my couch was very much like a beauty couch. It was not comfortable. So I got a comfortable couch, cleaned my aquariums. I've been going to yoga more. I've been using this amazing product called Ripple, which is an all plant-based vape to help me quit the cigarettes, which has been super cool. Seeing friends, going to the movies. Yeah, just like being a normal person. It's been really nice.
Any good movies you seen?
Let's see. We went and saw Wolverine versus Deadpool, or whatever the real title is. Well, I'll be honest. I loved the other Deadpools. It's the only Marvel thing I've ever actually really watched. Most Marvel stuff is just like not for me. I don't really love superheroes to begin with. And then, I don't know. I've never been into it. But I love Deadpool because he's inappropriate. He's very gay and it's fun. So I was like, well, and I love Hugh Jackman. Like, let's go. But just in case it's not good, let's go see it in 4D. So I'm really glad we went and saw it in 4D because the movie was not good in my opinion. I don't know Marvel characters, so none of that meant nothing to me. I mean, like Jennifer Gardner popped out and I was like, who's she? And they were like, oh, it's Zelda or whatever her character was. So movie wise, it was a no for me, but 4D experience, loved. Have you ever done that?
Yes.
So fun.
I always try to go for the crazy movies in 4D.
Okay. Well, that's what we were thinking. This is going to be super actiony. We're going to get punched. Yeah.
They're fucking crazy.
I loved it. They're about to do Alien, the new one on 4D. So I really want to go do that.
Be cool.
I really want to go do that.
I wonder if there's gonna be like a little spit that flies in your face.
I'm sure we got spit on when we were watching this other movie that had nothing to do with water. So yeah. I also saw Twisters. Disappointed in that as well. Yeah, the most recent movie I've seen that was actually good in the theaters was Thelma.
I haven't seen Thelma yet.
Loved it. So fun, so cute, so charming. After I told my dad that I liked that movie, he was like, you have an old soul. I was like, wasn't it an old people movie? What is that supposed to mean? But I've also watched a lot of good stuff on Netflix recently. I just watched Falling in Love, A Man Falling, something like this. It stars Harry Connick Jr. Okay. So good. I loved that. I consumed the Dirty Pop docuseries in like 3 seconds, of course.
Lou Pearlman.
So good. Did we talk about the finish of Love Island on here?
No, you didn't.
So Love Island finish, my favorite couple, Kayla and Aaron got voted off before the finale. I was very sad, but it was really fun and good. And now I am seriously missing the show. Aww. It's like so weird to not have a show that I love to watch every day that's new. So that's been disappointing. But Love Island, loved it. And then, of course, I did finally finish your couple to throuple. So good.
Right? Crazy.
Jonathan was so hot. Yeah. I lived for the drama between him and the gays and the bis and all that. It was just, that was such a great, messy show. So I really hope they bring that back. And then I saw this amazing documentary. I told you I'm being a real human. I've been watching TV. I saw this amazing documentary about this couple that like climbs really tall buildings without like, you know, harnesses and stuff. And that was amazing as well. I should know all these titles, but when you consume things fast as I do, you forget it. But that's really good. That was on Netflix. And I loved Presumed Innocent with Apple Jake Gyllenhaal, Apple TV. Super good. The ending was such a shocker. I did not expect it. So yeah, it's been nice to just be. Of course, I've been going to events and doing little shows here and there. I performed in Long Beach and Pomona. So I'm definitely still working, but it's been nice to not have that be like my sole focus. And yeah, I've just really been trying to get myself in a place that I'm ready for the surgery and that I'm not going in with fear and that I'm going in with bad bitch energy and like I can accomplish this and get over it. And, you know, just trying to, like I said, go to yoga, quit the smoking, eat healthier, do more juicing, you know. So yeah, it's been good.
Sounded like a Lady Gaga club, another club.
Right. That vibe, but healthy.
Well, let's take a break and then we get into this finale.
Sounds like a plan. And we're back with more Queening Out, here to break down the 2-part RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars 9 finale.
Well, let's just say one part, because we can throw the first part out of the way. What did you think? This episode started with the Kamalama.
I loved that she did that. Very smart. I'm happy to see she's doing well. I think we're in a lot better place than we were before. I have a lot more hope. I'm feeling positive. And yeah, I thought it was a good way to start off the episode.
Yeah.
I don't know how they pulled that off. Was that pre-filmed?
Apparently they filmed it in June when they were shooting, I guess, 17.
Okay.
And
so they just had it on the back burner.
They just had it on the back burner, and maybe they were going to use it in a few months, and then they're like, oh no, why not use it now?
Yeah,
which was a smart thing to do.
I did think it was weird how there were the other random celebrities just like sitting around her. I was like, what is that?
Your voice is heard this November, and register to vote at vote.gov.
Can I get an amen?
Amen! The girls are all in the workroom, and Miss Kylie Sonique Love pops in.
That's
right. She's like, hey.
Yeah.
And then we get a message from Jimbo on
so cute
Kylie's iPad that she had on the back of her pants.
In her ass, yes.
Right out of my ass, John.
Basically, there was a full 22 minutes, I believe, of just mirror talk. And I was
right. All the girls were emotional. They were crying. I thought it was sweet. You didn't? You were bored?
I was like, we just had a full episode of air, and now we're going to have 20 more minutes of air. Like, did you not meet the number of episodes you were supposed to do? Like, what was it?
I don't know. It worked for me, but I think I love Kylie. So I think like that. I was just happy for her to get her little moment. And Jimbo, of course, too. Yeah. And then, I liked seeing them emotional because I connected and I was like, oh, they're finally being real with one another and like being grateful. And I thought all of that was nice.
Yeah.
So I liked it.
Well, we get into the talent show.
Yes.
There is a lot of numbers, a lot of lip syncs to original music, which I'm guessing. I'm wondering if they did these before or if they did these at the studio.
No, they definitely did it before. Like came with it prepared. Yeah.
Miss Angeria Paris Van Michaels comes out in her little show number, Park and Bark.
Loved it.
That was really great.
Thought it was great. Well staged. She looked gorgeous. She was painted for filth. It was smart. It was catchy. It hit all the marks. It was definitely a 10.
Yeah, it was cute and campy. I loved it.
Perfect.
Got Mick had her like rock banger.
I liked it. I'll be honest. I think I'd seen a clip earlier of the plastic going titty fire vibration. And I thought that was Gottmik because I just seen it in passing. So I was like waiting for her to do that. So I did feel like Gottmik needed like one more stunt in there, but ultimately I liked it. Her song reminded me of Ashley Simpson, which I'm a fan of. So yeah, I thought it was good.
I thought it was okay.
Okay.
I just have an issue with people playing guitars, faking playing guitars. I can't stand it.
Okay.
I can't stand it when a girl is doing a lip sync and then all
Would
of a sudden
you have preferred like an air guitar?
no guitar at all.
No guitar unless you're playing it.
Yeah.
Okay, well now we know that's your
Because when girls do air
thing.
guitars and lip syncs, I'm like,
you don't vibe it.
I'm like automatic 0 from me.
Wow.
Go home.
Okay. I don't know what you have against the air guitar, but got it.
I don't know.
Mental note. Next time I
think
perform, I'm going to do it on purpose now.
You should. You should.
I feel like if we're going to get picky, it is a talent show, and that's not necessarily showing talent by faking the guitar. But I just liked that it was a gag.
Yeah. Next up, we had Miss Georges.
Remind me what she did.
She did her.
Oh, she did the backflip that everyone went
and then she
crazy
got
over.
flung
That was
off.
super cool. Yeah. But I guess I don't really remember the number. Was it an original song?
Mm-hmm.
What was her song? Oh, it's Joella Pussy. That's why. It's not really Georgia singing. It's Joella Pussy. She was amazing for sure. She danced the house down. She looked gorgeous. She's a star when it comes to performance. Absolutely.
I just wanted them to sling her and then she would go past the stage.
Like fly off the stage?
Yeah.
Well, girl.
That would have made a fun, great moment.
No, it wouldn't have. Then you wouldn't have seen her land and look glamorous.
She did look really glamorous.
Glam. It was sickening.
Ready. She was ready.
I lived.
And then we had Plastic Tiara, who came out and she had her.
Did she dance for us?
She did like a little lightsaber
Oh,
thing.
right. I liked it. I thought it was cool. It was
then
creative.
She was like, "Oh my gosh, it's time to turn on Titty Fire." And then
And that's right. Yes. No,
she
she
did
did
the s'mores.
amazing. That was a 10 out of 10.
I
Come
liked
on.
it.
She turned
was
it.
great.
She turned it.
I love that these girls, I think everybody did great in these numbers. And I think that's kind of hard for talent shows sometimes.
Absolutely.
Especially like, watching how everything's done.
Yeah.
But I did like that they all came with like back stunts, like ready to go.
Me too. It was great.
Nina West in her drag
Broadway
is-
Vibration.
Yes.
That was super cute.
Cute.
Loved it. It was a 10 for me, but I loved it.
Yeah, I think that it kind of came off like how Miss Kasha Davis's did last time. I think no matter what, if you're going to bring a message to Drag Race, it's never going to win. I mean, I'm sorry to say that, but like
What do you mean?
if you bring a message in your talent show number, it's not going to win.
That is hilarious.
Like it may be great and wonderful and it may be touching and it may be heartfelt, but you're not going to win.
Okay. She had talent though. It was her song. She
Yeah.
was singing it and she sounded great and she was dancing.
I just think that it's just something kind of like me and the air guitar. If I would automatically say no, I feel like
So if it has a message, Joseph's out.
I feel like RuPaul is like that. He's
Oh,
like,
okay.
oh, it's a great message. Let's let it live. But oh my gosh, did you see?
How do you really, as an artist, relay the message in a creative and
yeah.
interesting way?
Miss Roxy Andrews and her little burlesque number.
I thought she did great. I loved the body. I loved the outfit. It was a good moment for her.
I thought whoever she is using or whatever she is doing to be able to find the skin tone in those in the bodysuits and in the cover-ups and everything, I think is crazy because I can't tell. I'm like,
I wonder
girl,
if she gets a lighter color and she puts her makeup on it.
that would be smart.
That's what a lot of ballerinas do with their flats.
Yeah.
With their shoes. Yeah. Like they don't make them in a lot of, different colors for different ethnicities. So they'll get them in a light color and then use their foundation. So I wonder if that's what she did. But I agree. The match was amazing. And this to me was an all-star look. This is sort of what I was expecting from her every week.
Yeah.
Like it was beaded, it was fringed, it was gorgeous,
Chanel was the only one who did not do a lip sync track.
Oh, I loved hers. To me, this was a 10.
Yeah.
I thought this was, I hated the look. I have to be honest.
The look was not
I
it.
don't love the look. If it had been fully rhinestoned, it would have worked. But I don't like that airbrush stuff.
I don't either.
I think it looks cheap. Yeah. And then she had that wig that she's been wearing a lot in the show. I think it was a different color, but it's that style of like very 80s up. There's no move. I don't know. I didn't love the look. But the talent to me, now that was a real talent.
Yeah.
That was the talent show.
Because it literally was like a Vegas show.
So cool.
You had your
bowling pins,
then your knives,
and the balancing
and
of the cube. She did amazing. I thought that was real talent.
and she ate a box on stage.
She didn't eat it.
I was making a joke.
Like, wait, what?
She
Did I fall
didn't
asleep?
eat the
She ate
box. And last up, we had Miss Vanjie.
it? She killed it.
With her leotard number.
Loved it.
People found, I guess, last All-Stars, she went on to the pit stop and she was talking with Bob. And Bob was like, oh, what would you do for your talent number? And she was like, oh, I would start out and I'd be like, and then she goes, and then I would do these reveals and they would be, and then they like bleeped it out. But it's literally everything that she did. So I thought that was kind of cool that she.
Why did they bleep it out?
I guess she may have told them she didn't want it to come out, like in what her talent would be.
Okay.
But I don't know if she asked for a fan to be put on her, but seeing her hair like blow back the whole time, I'm like.
She did. She asked one of those crew members who's mad. No, just
that's what happened. That's what caused it all.
They're like, drag queens need fans. What? We're out of here.
And then I also like at the end, like you thought the number was over, but then it wasn't. And then she like fell back into the guy's arms.
Oh, yeah. She loves that. She did that in Work the World.
Yeah.
She loves to jump off things and fall into boys' arms.
Wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
So since you were on Work the World,
Yeah.
were any of these numbers similar to the girls who were on there? Like,
What do you mean?
the numbers that they did in their talent show, were they similar to things that they would do in Work the World?
Yeah, sure. In a way. I mean, Vanjie's for sure. She will always give you that sort of hip hop dance vibe. Gottmik, I think, definitely does the punk rock theme. So yeah, I think absolutely it was similar to what you might see in the Work the World. Work the World just usually has a theme.
Yeah.
So it's not like everyone doing their own thing. It all has something to tie back in.
Well, we get into the looks. We have the finale extravaganza.
Yep.
So
And Rue is wearing like chartreuse green, right?
yeah.
I was gagged. I was like, ooh, Michelle's mad.
And we had Connie Britton on.
Again, right? She's been on before.
She's been on before, I think.
Yeah.
So first up, we had Angeria Paris Van Michaels and her feather look.
What did you think?
Did you ever see Up?
No.
There's this bird on Up.
I heard I would really like Up too. It's like sad and sweet, right?
I think you would.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I just don't watch many cartoons. Well, while you're looking, I'll say what I think. I think it's a beautiful dress. I think it costs lots of money and it looks like it. I think she's gorgeous. I think she's glamorous. I think she's elegant. But I do not like the look. It is just not for me. I don't know. It's like, y'all know how I feel about drag jewelry, A. Mm-hmm. Then it feels more like a costume as opposed to couture.
Okay.
So I think it is a beautiful costume if it was in a period piece, film or play. But I'm going to wear this on RuPaul's Drag Race, it's just too drag for me. And I know it's called Drag Race, so shoot me. I get it.
This is the bird at Disneyland.
Okay.
That's what it reminded me of.
Sure. I like that reference.
Yeah.
That's cute. But yeah, so the style of it for me, I didn't love it.
I thought that it was beautiful color-wise. And
Gorgeous.
I do think that the feathers at the bottom was a really cool look and aesthetic. I think my issue is that it kind of felt disjointed in the way of like the feathers were a really cool aesthetic to it. However, having such a big, what do you call it? Not poof.
Well, it was like a sequin, architectural pattern as well. So now that you pointed that out, I'm like, you're right. I actually think if the whole dress had been the feathers, I would have loved it.
Oh, yeah.
I would have loved it. It felt disjointed to me. It felt like a period costume with the big,
yes.
Why can't we think of this word? Hoop skirt.
Yes.
With the big hoop skirt and then the feather. So yeah, that's what it was. It felt disjointed.
Yeah. Got Mick in her tight corsetry.
It's
and
sickening.
I loved the train. I think
obsessed.
the train is so
the hair.
cool.
Look at the hair. The hair
dope.
is insane. The hair is art. Oh, it's so good. It's just tailored to her body. I mean, it's fierce. It looks so
great.
Versace. I mean, it's just, yeah, I would totally rock that. Now, I wouldn't have chosen that for the finale because, again, it is black on black on black, which is hard to see. But it's so got Mick. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Gorgeous in her Selena-inspired rosebud.
From the neck up, I was amazed.
Yes.
Amazed. I love the makeup and the hair. My God, she looks gorgeous. I love that she chose to wear red, as I feel like that's one of her signature colors. I don't love the dress. It feels crafted, homemade. It doesn't feel like, it feels more like it was a tube top and a skirt that we added a chain to and glued some roses on. Like, I don't know. I don't know the original reference with Selena. So I don't know what she was.
Oh, I just think she was saying that she took influence in Selena.
Oh, okay. It isn't
in
like
the
an
hair.
outfit that she
No.
wore.
I believe it's the hair, and I believe it's the style of outfit.
Right. And I like the style, the little bandeau top and the skirt and the gloves. I think it's super cool. I don't know. I wasn't crazy about it.
To me, it felt like she was making this outfit. I know she probably didn't make it, but I just want to go here. So designers making the outfit, they make the top first.
Okay.
And then they go to make the bottom and they start adding those flowers and they're like, fuck, I ran out of flowers. Because what it felt like is that the top had a lot of roses or whatever on it. The bottom did. And then it just kind of like there'd be one or two as it went up. And that to me was just kind of weird and just looked like little random rosebuds.
I don't mind the dispersing. I feel like it does have a sort of, cascade. But I don't know. It's like, I was like, well, maybe if she rhinestoned the roses. No. I'm not a fan of flowers stuck on outfits, I guess.
Well, not a win for you.
No.
Plastic tiara. I will say, do you remember those things in the 90s that you would potentially get for Christmas and it'd be like a fairy and you'd like pull it and then they would like fly in the air?
I do.
That's what she looked like to me.
Totally. I think she looks incredible. Now, this is a costume, but it also is couture. And I think it's actually a reference to like an anime character.
Okay.
I'm not for sure. She said it though. She said what it was a reference to, but I don't know. It's like where I was saying earlier how I felt Angeria's was going costume, not couture. This is a perfect example to me, like of where you could blend the two.
Okay.
And it has this sort of like fantastical costume element to it, but it also still feels like something like you could see pared down on the runway.
Yeah.
I loved the color choice. I thought she looked beautiful. I love that she's, represented her background, her heritage. I think that's so cool. Yeah. And I think it was smart branding on her point. And yeah, I loved the shoes. Those were so McQueen and it was super cool.
It was very out there. I loved every bit of it except for the flags.
Well, that was a lot of it.
I know.
There was a lot of flags.
I wasn't a fan of it.
No? Okay.
I think that there's like...
Why? It was too much for you or?
I think it makes it like how we discussed the cheap. For some reason, like a flag to me is not elaborate or expensive.
I mean, but her flags had like dragons that were fully bedazzled.
It's still just a shit.
No, they were not. Those did not look cheap, girl. I'm gonna fight you on that one.
Well, I wouldn't have bought it.
Okay.
Nina West in her blue sapphire ball gown.
Yeah, I think she looks beautiful. It's definitely not my favorite, but I don't think it's the worst. I'm happy she went with a different silhouette. I love this one strap. I think the material on the bottom looks a little crinkly, which I think is a part of its texture. But to me on camera, it looks a little like it needed to be steamed. But I'm sure that is like the texture of it. Or maybe there's a print on it. I'm not for sure. But I love the hair piled up to Jesus. The makeup is soft and beautiful. Again, you know how I feel about drag jewels, but I think it really works with this look because it's so simplistic and so the earrings can really stand out in their chandelier nature. And yeah, I was happy to see her in this way. I think it was strong for her.
I think from the waist up, yes. I think that the dress shape is great for her and for her body, and I think that it looks wonderful, and she looked great. I just had an issue, like you said, with the whatever that fabric is on the bottom. Maybe it just didn't play on camera right, but it literally kind of looked to me like just a piece of like, I know it's not tulle, but it looked like tulle or something that was just wrapped around, where I feel like if she would have stuck with the same fabric up top, it could have been really beautiful.
I think she could have just done a simple dress and we all would have just been like, work, bitch. Yeah. But yeah, no, I live. Beautiful color. Heart of the ocean.
Roxy Andrews in her burnt gold, burnt little like orange. Ooh.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Beautiful.
Again, this is what I was expecting from Roxy this season. And I know it's like, well, this outfit probably cost $10,000 or more. So it's like, of course she couldn't bring that every week. But this is what I think of when I think of Roxy Andrews, a fully bedazzled queen from head to toe with the matching eye makeup. I mean, it was perfection. Her best look of the season. What a great way to end. Loved the dark lip. I thought it was a knockout.
I did too. I thought she looked absolutely stunning and gorgeous. I love the color on her and like matched her skin tone beautifully. I do know that a lot of people say that you should never wear a crown on the last episode because then Rue won't crown you. I guess that's like a proven statistic. So I wonder if she wouldn't have worn a crown if she would have won, but it is what it is. I love reading into conspiracies.
I love it.
Chanel came out walking an art piece dog.
Sickening.
I love that.
I was obsessed. I thought, what a great way for Chanel to end. I mean, if I had to nitpick, I kind of wish she would have done straight jet black hair and just given us a contemporary look. But that's not Chanel. So I love that she stuck true to her, vibe. And I think she looks drop dead gorgeous. This outfit is so cool. I would absolutely wear it. I love the dog, love the cigarette holder. It tells a story. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing.
I thought she looked phenomenal. She looked like she was worth a lot of money. I thought
did.
adding the dog to it, and also it being like an actual, like not like a stuffed animal or something, it elevated.
I thought it was an art piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so cool.
And like you said, I think the only thing I really didn't like was the hair, because I felt like with the band that was around her head, it kind of just pushed the hair in a lot.
Which is the style of the 20s.
Yeah.
It's the vibe.
But then when you said straight hair, I was
Right.
like, that would have looked
I know. I just
dope.
think it would have looked so current.
But she looked great.
She did.
Miss Vanjie and the Cookie Monster, I wanted this jacket so bad. I commented on her picture and I said, how much money do you want for it?
Everything. There's nothing wrong with it. It's absolutely perfect. The grill in her mouth, her nameplates all over her outfit, the color combination, the metallicness, the Versace vibe of it all, the hair, the face. I am obsessed. I loved it. It's so my vibe. It's so my energy. This is exactly like... Now, I will say this. Is it finale drag? No. I don't know if it's best finale drag to me. To me, best finale drag is a gown or is a gag. But I love the look. I would wear it 1,000%. And I like that that's her brand. And so that's her version of best drag, Like, that's cool. I live.
I agree with that last part that you said, that it's her version of her best drag, because a lot of times when she is on tour, when she is doing shoots and stuff, she is like in a big oversized jersey or something like that. It's never like pushed to the max. So seeing this, I was like, oh, this is like an elevated version of
Absolutely.
that.
Like RuPaul said, any rapper girl would be jealous of that outfit.
Oh my gosh. I was like, give me Cookie Monster, please. Gorgeous.
So cool.
Loved it.
Loved it too.
So through that, we end up getting our top two of this portion who won the talent show. And then they would each be given, I believe they said 3 badges.
Don't look at me.
And Angeria and Vanjie won.
Okay.
How do we feel about that? Based off the talent show and based off of their looks. Let's go with putting those together.
I really feel like Chanel, like I said, was a true, real talent. And I loved her finale look. So I feel like I would have put her up in the top. Who else did I love? Roxy. I think Roxy really delivered with her look in both the finale and in the lip sync. But do I think either one of them were better than Angeria and Vanjie? No. So I'm going to say, yeah, I think that's right. What do you think?
I think I would have had Vanjie. I did like the number. I did like the outfit at the end. And I do think that Chanel had a different type of talent that was cool.
It was.
I also think that Plastique had a great talent and that it was conceptual and there was a lot to go with it.
Agreed.
So I think that those probably would have been my 3.
Yeah.
I could see Roxy as well because that outfit was stunning. But compared to the other numbers, it like may have had like a 0.1 off. You know what I mean? Like it was there, but like some of the other girls did like a stunt or 2 more that put them above. So I think everybody was pretty neck and neck.
I did too.
And everybody came out and it was absolutely stunning. So then RuPaul's like, you all voted on somebody and you get to, whoever gets this gets their things doubled. And Nina West got hers doubled, but she only had 2.
Dang.
So then RuPaul was like, well, you got it doubled, but you didn't get in the top 3.
Rough.
That would have been sad.
That would have been.
Womp, womp, womp.
So that put
Angeria, Roxy, and Vanessa Vanjie in the top 3. So we had badge count wise. Angeria was 6 badges. Roxy and Vanjie both had 5. Georges, Nina West, Plastique had 4. Chanel had 3. And Gottmik had 2.
Wow. Gottmik had the least of them all? That's surprising to me.
Yeah.
Oh, but I guess it's because Nina got hers doubled.
Yeah.
Because then it would have been Nina and Gottmik together, right?
Mm-hmm. So the girls end up performing separately, which I did not enjoy.
No?
I don't like when because there's no thrill. Like if you're on stage, I guess you're performing your own number, you're solo, you have the whole stage yourself. But sometimes I think that like seeing another girl may push you a little bit harder, or it may be like, oh, they're doing this, now I need to deviate from that.
Right. It does raise the stakes.
Yeah, and it makes it a little bit more competitive as opposed to like 3 screens and then going back and forth. I like seeing people on the same stage.
Sure.
But they performed to a Janet Jackson song, and I believe it was Rhythm Nation.
Classic, iconic song.
Roxy did great. I thought that Vanjie did great. I thought Nigeria did great. But if I had to rank who I thought was the best, I would probably say it was Roxy.
Really? Okay. Why do you say that?
She did some of the Rhythm Nation moves. Like she was in it.
She gave you more of the classic.
She was more in the classic, more really just feeling out the song. So if I had to, I probably would have given that lip sync to her. But we ended up with a winner, Miss Angeria Paris Van Michaels. Congratulations, Angeria. I know a lot of people have been up and downs about it.
Sure.
And feeling some type of way. And to some degree, I can understand where a frustration comes in, because it's like Roxy was kind of set up to win. Like I kind of felt it. I kind of like, the confessionals and her story arc and everything. And I was like, oh, she's probably going to like go and get this. But then at the exact same time, it was always Roxy and Angeria constantly blocking each other. And everybody thought Angeria was a threat. I mean, if you think about it, she had how many badges and she still was blocked like, 3-4 times?
True.
That's pretty crazy.
True.
And I think a lot of people aren't taking it into consideration that she was a threat and she was winning quite a bit. She may not be the winner that you were wanting or expecting, but I mean, her drag is totally different than what a Roxy's is. So.
Sure. Totally. I agree. I mean, I felt good about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I thought Roxy was going to win, and I felt that was a little rigged to me. So, yeah, I mean, ultimately, if it was up to me, I would have given it to Vanjie because that's my girl.
Yeah.
But, I mean, at the end of the day, I think they are all winners, as cheesy as that is. They're all walking away winners, all, 9 of them? It was a great season, and I felt like they all really got to show how they've improved over the years, which is what I do think made this particular All-Stars very interesting for me, was just to see, like Plastique grow into her own and like hold down the fort in the confessionals as a boy, and to see Gottmik have more talent moments like the Snatch Game, which was so amazing to me. And, I think overall they really did all win. So, if you're upset, get over it, because we have a new show starting in 2 weeks.
Yes.
And you'll have someone else to be fighting for.
It just like I just also hate too, because I feel like a lot of times when these girls win, and if a majority of the fans were not wanting this person to win, it's like they start sending them hate. And I'm like, why are we sending somebody hate that went on a TV show and won? They didn't force a producer or somebody to give them that. Like, they were given it.
So is that what happened?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
A lot of people.
Oh, so Angie couldn't even enjoy it?
Yeah.
Dang. That sucks. Why do people have to be such keyboard warriors?
I don't know.
What happened to the good old days of gossiping behind someone's back?
Yes.
Why can't we just stay with that? It works so well.
And it's like, just also, if you don't like something, don't say something. Like,
or like I said, gossip behind their back with your girlfriend on your couch, like we're supposed to.
You could easily be like,
or
I don't think this person should
have
won.
a podcast and do it publicly like we do. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, Angeria ended up winning $231,500 for the National Black Justice
Incredible.
League. We had Roxy won $64,000 altogether for the Miracle of Love. Vanjie had $31,500 for ASPCA.
Wow.
Got Mick $29,000 for the Trans Lifeline. $14,000 from Georges for the National Alliance of Mental Illness. Nina West, $11,500 for the Trevor Project. Plastique Tiara had $6,500 for the Asian American Foundation. And then we had Chanel with $11,500 for the Anxiety and Depression Association of America.
So Plastique had the least.
Because she didn't win those lip syncs, remember?
Oh, that's how you won the money. That's
Yeah.
right. Well, I mean, I think that's incredible. And I know we've said that, doing the charities made it a little less dramatic and the stakes were high. But just hearing those numbers and knowing that so much money went to a good cause, I think is like a beautiful thing. I'd love to see more of that. And ultimately, I think the franchise makes a lot of money. So for them to do this, I think, it's a great thing. It's a really great thing. And I think all the girls should be super proud of how much they raised. Like most of them were above 10K. Like that's huge. And even Plastique with what was it, 68? That's incredible. I mean, that's amazing. So I'm happy that they all did that and that ultimately these other platforms are being elevated through Drag Race.
Oh, exactly.
I think that's cool.
Well, what'd you think of the season overall?
It had its ups, it's had its downs. I got bored. I fell asleep. I woke back up. I had a party. I loved the Rusical. There was a lot of great moments. Got mixed scream dress. I mean, I felt like it was a good season. I definitely enjoyed watching it. I do think it was better than the last All Stars. And I hope we can continue to get more diverse casting.
Yes.
I really enjoyed having a Roxy and a Chanel against a Georges and a Gottmik and seeing the difference of their styles. And, I hope we can continue to do more of that.
Yeah. I feel you on that. I think that I like the charity aspect. I just wish that they would also have some money involved just so I can feel like it's a competition. But that's my own personal thing. And I do think that there were a lot of aspects that made this better than the last All-Stars. But I do think that I like some of the challenges in the last All-Stars better. I feel like they were a little bit more fun, but the Rusical was great. I think that the girls killed it on the runway every single time. Yeah. And I'm going to be excited to see this All-Stars 10 if what the world says and what we said last episode are true about splitting them up.
Where they're all split up. Yeah. Well, I'm just excited for Global. I'm ready to see Mama Alyssa back on TV. I cannot wait because I know no matter what's happening on that show, she's going to be entertaining the hell out of us.
Oh, yeah.
And isn't that starting like 2 weeks?
Yeah, 2 weeks and they'll be back and we'll be doing
wait.
this.
Yes.
It's also, they shot it in Colombia. Yeah. They shot the Global, and I believe they shot Mexico. They shot like 2 other ones down there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think that's why they did it.
Interesting that they would shoot Mexico Drag Race in Colombia.
Yeah, they shot Mexico. They shot Sweden.
They flew all the girls from Sweden to Colombia. God, the studios must be dirt cheap there.
Because they probably are using the same production staff. And they probably have them out for like, months, 6 months or something. And then they're literally just flying in the girls and the host or the judges. And then they're
crazy.
like, bam, bam.
So crazy. Also, we'll just have to say this. Nikki Doll on the Olympics.
Gorge.
Incredible. Such an accomplishment. I thought that was amazing. Her own single on the Olympics. That's iconic.
So cool. So, we'll see you all in 2 weeks for Global All-Stars with Miss Alyssa Edwards.
Yes, God.
Yes,
Love
God.
you guys.